consent document for enrolling adult participants in a research study. Georgia State University and Georgia Tech Institute of Technology Joint Center for Advanced Brain Imaging. Project title: Reading in Aphasia. Investigators: Rachel M. Harrington, C. Nikki Arrington, Lisa C. Krishnamurthy, Rose Sevick, and Robin D. Morris. Address: GSU, Georgia Tech Center for Advanced Brain Imaging, 831 Marietta Street, Atlanta, Georgia, 30318. Telephone: Dr. Rachel Harrington at 404-413-6219. Email: rharrington2@gsu.edu. Key information for reading in aphasia. What am I being asked to do? You are being asked to volunteer in a research study. This page will give you key information to help you decide if you would like to participate. Your participation is voluntary. As you read, please feel free to ask any questions you may have about the research. What is the study about, and what procedures will you be asked to follow? The purpose of this study is to see how the brain functions during a reading task. On the first visit, we will test your reading and language abilities. On the second visit, you will receive an MRI scan during which you will perform several reading tasks. Your participation in this study is expected to last no more than 2 days, with the potential for a third makeup day if needed. Are there any risks or discomforts you might experience by being in this study? There are no known harms or risks associated with reading and language testing. The MRI is done for research purposes only and is not diagnostic. There are no significant risks associated with the testing or the MRI, though some people may be annoyed by the noise level within the MRI or may become claustrophobic. You will be screened to ensure that there is no metal in your body or other contraindications to participating in the MRI. What are the reasons you might want to volunteer for this study? You are not likely to benefit in any way from joining this study. However, your participation in this study may assist researchers in understanding how the brain processes reading. As compensation for your time, we are offering $15 for the first visit and $50 for the MRI visit. You will be given the money for each visit you attend, even if you decide to leave the study early. Do you have to take part in this study? It is fully your decision if you wish to be in this study or not. If you choose not to participate or choose to participate and later determine you no longer wish to, you will not lose any rights, services, or benefits as a result of your withdrawal. The study is completely voluntary. Introduction. You are being asked to be a volunteer in a research study. Please read this consent form carefully. Take your time deciding about whether to participate. As the researchers discuss this consent form with you, please ask them to explain any words or information that you do not clearly understand. The purpose of the study, risks, inconveniences, discomforts, and other important information about the study are listed below. Purpose. The purpose of this project is to understand how reading is related to brain function. To do this, you will perform some reading tasks and then have magnetic resonance imaging, MRI, brain scans. We want to better understand how the reading system in the brain functions. We expect to enroll 100 people in this study. Inclusion-exclusion criteria. Specific reading criteria. Individuals must meet the study reading criteria based on their reading and reading-related screening test results. Individuals must meet the study language criteria based on their language and language-related screening test results. Because reading is linked to language, individuals must be native speakers of English. Specific health criteria. Individuals who have hearing deficits greater than 25 decibels at 500 plus hertz will not be able to participate. Individuals who have uncorrected visual deficits greater than 20/40 will not be able to participate. Individuals who have serious emotional or mood problems, example, severe depression, schizophrenia, substance use disorders requiring ongoing treatments and/or periods of hospitalizations, will not be able to participate. Individuals who have certain neurological conditions, example, uncontrolled seizure disorders, will not be able to participate. Individuals with certain metals in their bodies or with certain health conditions will not be able to participate. If an individual has braces on their teeth, a cardiac pacemaker, hearing aid, or other metal in their body or eyes, which may include certain metallic embedded tattoos, included but not limited to pins, screws, shrapnel, plates, dentures, or other metal objects, will not be able to participate. Other criteria. Individuals must be right-handed to participate. Individuals must be between the ages of 18 and 89 to participate. Individuals whose completed MRI screening and contraindication forms do not pass MRI tech review will not be able to participate. Procedures. If you decide to be in the study, you will complete 1 to 2 sessions for the study. These sessions will take place virtually over a computer and/or at the GSU Georgia Tech Joint Center for Advanced Brain Imaging, CABI, on Marietta Street. Each visit will take about 1 to 3 hours. You will first complete some questionnaires to make sure that you are safe to have the MRI brain scan. We will discuss the study with you. You may ask all the questions you have before we begin. After agreeing to take part in the study and signing this written consent form, you will be ready to participate as a study subject. Session 1. Screening and reading tasks. When possible, your screening session will be completed virtually. We will work with you to schedule this session. It will be done using a computer available to you and a special secure video conferencing software, WebEx. No part of the session will be recorded, and your session will only be accessible to you and the researcher. The researcher will call you on the phone before the session to help you set the session up. They may also call you on the phone if the virtual session is interrupted. During the virtual session, you will need to have access to a computer that is in a private place that is free from other people or distractions. This computer will need to have access to a secure internet connection. You will not be allowed to record or take pictures of anything presented during the session. If you do not have access to a computer with internet or do not wish to use virtual sessions, then we may ask you to come to CABI for your screening session. Before you come to CABI, we will call you on the phone and ask you questions about your health to make sure it is safe for you to participate in the study. When you arrive at CABI, before you may enter the building, you will be asked some more questions about your health. You will have your temperature taken with a sensor placed on your forehead, and you will have your oxygen level checked with a sensor placed on your finger. You will also be required to follow CABI health and social distancing practices, which include things like sanitizing your hands regularly and wearing a mask that covers your nose and mouth. If you have a clean mask of your own, you will be allowed to bring it. If not, a mask will be provided for you. This will help to protect you and the researcher. On or before the day of your screening session, we will ask you to complete some questionnaires about your background and health. You will complete these either on a secure website or in person during your screening session. We will review your MRI screening and health forms, and we'll make sure that they are up to date and there are no concerns. If they have any questions regarding your answers on these forms, they may want to talk to you to ensure your safety. If they decide that it is not safe for you to be scanned, then you will not be able to continue with the study. After your MRI screening and health forms are reviewed, you will be asked to complete a series of reading and language tasks. These tasks help us understand your specific reading and language abilities related to the reading task you will do during the scan. These screening and reading tasks take about 3 hours. For some of the tasks, you will be asked questions by the researcher. For others, you will see or read things on paper you will need to respond to. If your screening session takes place at CABI, these tasks will be done in a quiet room. If it is done virtually, then you will respond to or read things that appear on your computer screen. Some of these tasks have special protections. Because of this, if you complete the virtual session, you will not be allowed to record, take video, or take pictures of any of the material. After completing the reading task, your scores will be reviewed. If you meet study reading criteria based on your scores on these tasks, then we will ask you to return to CABI to complete the MRI portions of the study. If you do not qualify for the MRI after being consented, your participation will be complete and data from the first session may still be used and will be kept securely until completion of the study. Visit 2. Health Screening. If you are asked to come for the second visit, we will call you on the phone and ask you questions about your health to make sure it is safe for you to come to CABI. When you arrive at CABI, before you may enter the building, you will be asked some more questions about your health. You will have your temperature taken with a sensor placed on your forehead, and you will have your oxygen level checked with a sensor placed on your finger. You will also be required to follow CABI health and social distancing practices, which include things like sanitizing your hands regularly and wearing a mask that covers your nose and mouth. We will provide you with a special mask that you will wear during your visit. We will again review the CABI MRI screening and health forms that were reviewed with you during the screening session. The CABI technician will review these forms to make sure they are up to date and there are no concerns. If they have any questions regarding your answers on these forms, they may want to talk to you more to ensure your safety. If they decide that it is not safe for you to be scanned, then you will not be able to continue with the study. MRI training. Before your MRI scan, you will be trained on what you will do during the MRI session. This will take up to 1 hour. You will be trained and will practice the reading tasks and button responses needed during the reading task in the scanner. You will learn what the MRI looks like and sounds like. You will practice lying still, and if you move too much during practice, the researcher will remind you to lie still and restart the task. This practice part lasts about 20 minutes. MRI session. If you are asked to return for the second visit, you will be given a 1-hour session in the MRI scanner. This usually lasts about 1.5 hours with time to prepare and get in and out of the scanner. Before the scan, you will be allowed to practice the reading tasks you did during the MRI training session. You will also be asked to use the bathroom and to remove all metal from your body. This includes watches and jewelry. You will also be asked to empty your pockets. To receive the scan, you will enter a large room where the MRI scanner is. This scanner uses a very strong magnet to take pictures of your brain. Radiation is not involved. You will not have any needles in your veins, and no contrast dye is used. You will be asked to lay down on a narrow table, and that table will slide into the scanner. The scanner is a large box with a tube in the middle. You will lie inside the tube while the scan is being done. It is about 6 feet long and 60 centimeters around. You will hear loud noises as the scanner takes pictures of your brain. The researcher will provide you with special headphones and noise-canceling padding. You will be asked to lie still for about 1 hour during the scan. We will help keep you still with a blanket wrapped around your body. Heart rate will be collected using an oximeter on the finger. Respiration will also be collected with a belt across the chest. The researchers running the scanner will be able to see you during the scan. You can talk to them through an intercom. You can ask for a break or to stop at any time. Sometimes people get worried about being in the scanner. If this occurs, you can ask to be taken out of the scanner and the study will be stopped. While you are in the scanner, we will take different types of brain pictures. While we are taking some of these pictures, you will be allowed to watch an available movie of your choice. During other types of pictures, We will take pictures of your brain while you are reading. While we are taking these pictures, you will be asked to read and respond to the reading tasks by pushing a button. You will hold the button box in your right or left hand. Pre-MRI reading testing. Right before the MRI, you will be asked to complete some short reading assessments. They are like the ones you did during the first visit. You will also be asked to complete a computerized reading task like one you did during your MRI training. These reading assessments will take no more than 10 minutes to complete. Total study time. Total consent and testing time, plus all MRI sessions, should take no more than 3 hours per visit. If you participate in the screening, reading tasks, and MRI sessions, and if a makeup session is required, then the total study time is approximately 8 hours. This will take place over 2 different days, and it will include providing informed consent, screening, and being prepared for the sessions. You will be asked to return for makeup sessions if high-quality data is not obtained from the planned sessions. You will return for a makeup session if you are willing to do so. You may tell the research staff if you are uncomfortable or need a break for a few minutes. You may tell the research staff if you want to stop the study at any time during the study. Risks or discomforts. MRI brain scan. This MRI is done for research purposes only. The MRI scan being done is designed to answer research questions, not to medically examine your brain. The MRI scan is not a substitute for one a physician would order. It may not show problems that would be picked up by a medical MRI scan. None of the researchers are medically qualified radiologists. However, if we see something unusual in your scan may be referred to a radiologist. You may be informed by the research group if a follow-up with your physician is suggested. Any follow-up evaluation or treatment that you seek will be at your own expense. You may be unnecessarily worried if a problem is suspected, even if your physician rules out any problems. The following risks or discomforts may occur because of your participation in this study. The energy levels used to make MRI measurements are far less than those used in a single X-ray. MRI is painless and there are no significant risks from MRI as it is to be performed, but participation may mean some added discomfort for you. You may be bothered by the beeping and hammering sounds made by the scanner as it collects measurements. Ear protection will be provided to diminish the noise. The magnet is a small enclosure. Despite the use of an open head coil, some people become claustrophobic inside. You may also experience mild numbness or tingling in your fingers and toes. This is like the feeling you get when your arm has fallen asleep. Not the painful needling feeling, but the numb tingling you feel afterward. The room may be cold. You may ask for a blanket. You may become tired or bored from lying in the scanner. Some people feel nervous or claustrophobic while lying in the scanner. Again, you are free to quit the experiment at any time. Women of childbearing potential who are considering being in this study should especially note that the risks of fetuses' exposure to an MRI are unknown. If you are a female subject and know or suspect that you might be pregnant, please notify the study staff. Because the MRI scanner attracts certain metals, it could move metallic objects within the MRI room during your examination. This could possibly harm you. Precautions have been made to prevent this from happening. Further, because of the high magnetic field, people with pacemakers, heart rhythm disturbances, or certain metallic implants in their body cannot participate in this study. You will be screened for these conditions. Study surveys. There are no known harms or risks associated with completing surveys as part of participating in this study above those involved in your daily activities. Therefore, the risks are minimal. There may be some questions on the surveys that you do not know the answer to or are uncomfortable answering. If this is the case, you may skip this portion of the survey. Benefits. If you agree to take part in this study, there are no direct benefits to you. We hope the information learned from the study will provide information about the brain function associated with reading. Compensation to you. You will be paid $15 for Visit 1, in which you will be screened for the study, complete the reading assessments, and be trained on the MRI procedures. If selected to continue in the study, for Visit 2, you will be paid $50 for the MRI brain scan. This is $65 for completing both the sessions. If the first session is completed virtually, we will mail the compensation or give both compensation amounts at the second in-person visit. This is for your time and effort in participating in this study. You will participate in 1 to 2 sessions of up to 3 hours each. This does not include makeup sessions that you might also agree to. If the quality of the data from any session is substandard, you may be asked to participate in a repeat or makeup session. You will also be paid for the repeated portion of the visit you complete. Example, $25 for a repeat MRI. If you withdraw before completion of the entire study, you will be paid for the portion of the study in which you participated. U.S. tax law requires that a 1099 miscellaneous be issued if the U.S. tax resident receives $600 or more per calendar year. If non-U.S. tax residents receive more than $75, mandatory 30% withholding is required. Your address and tax ID may be collected for compensation purposes only. This information will be shared only with the Georgia State University department that issues compensation, if any, for your participation. The following process will be done to keep your personal information confidential in this study. Your data will be kept private to the extent required by law. Your study records will be kept under a code number rather than by your name. This is to protect your privacy. Your test and study records will be kept in locked files. Only study staff will be allowed to look at them. Digital data will be kept in password-protected data systems. Your name and any other facts that might point to you will not appear when results of the study are presented or published. We will keep such links separate from your data and results. Although we may use video conferencing to talk with you to collect information and possibly do reading tasks, if you approve, we will not collect audio or visual recordings of these video sessions. The research team will not collect your IP addresses. To make sure that this research is being carried out in the proper way, the joint Georgia Institute of Technology, Georgia State University, IRB, may review the study records. The Food and Drug Administration may also look over the study records during required reviews. Organizations or individuals that may look at and/or copy your study records for research, quality assurance, and data analysis are representatives of government agencies like the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, involved in keeping research safe for people, the Georgia State University, GSU, Georgia Institute of Technology, GIT, Center for Advanced Brain Imaging, CABI, Institutional Review Board, IRB. After the study is over, we may want to share the data and information collected with other researchers who were not involved with the study. That information will be shared without revealing your identity. The data may be provided upon request or placed in a secure repository for general access by other researchers. We will not share any identifying information such as your name or contact information. This allows other researchers not involved in the study to learn from our work without having to do the study again. For these reasons, we will not destroy your study data and information when the study ends. We will not keep the identifying data linking your name or contact information to your data after the study is closed. We will store and share the information without using your identity. Costs to you. There are no costs to you other than your time for being in the study. In case of injury or harm, if you are injured or harmed, or you have concerns about something that has happened because of being in this study, please contact Principal Investigator Rachel Harrington, PhD, at telephone 404-413-6219. Neither the Principal Investigator nor Georgia State University or Georgia Institute of Technology has made provision for payment of costs associated with any injury resulting from participation in this study. Participant rights. Your participation in this study is voluntary. You do not have to be in this study if you don't want to be. You have the right to change your mind and leave the study at any time without giving any reason and without penalty. Any new information that may make you change your mind about being in the study will be given to you. You will be given a copy of this consent form to keep. You do not waive any of your legal rights by signing this consent form. Questions about the study. If you have any questions about this study, you may contact the project principal investigator, Dr. Rachel Harrington, at 404-413-6219 or email rharrington2@gsu.edu. Questions about your rights as a research participant. If you have any questions about your rights as a research participant, you may contact Ms. Kelly Wynn, Georgia Institute of Technology, Office of Research Integrity Assurance, at 404-385-2175. Consent to participate in study. If you sign below, it means that you have read or have had read to you the information given in this consent form, and you would like to be a volunteer in the study. If you answer yes to the following statements, it means that you have read or have had read to you the information contained in this letter and would like to volunteer in this research study. Thank you. 1. I confirm that I do not have any additional questions regarding my participation in this study.